Hi there, I'm Alison Crouch from Move Smart and Boomerang, and I wanted to share a little something with you that I discovered yesterday as my husband and I were driving on the highway. I'm not a driver, I'm a passenger in the car, um, so I'm not actually doing any of the work. And I found my pelvic floor crawling gradually up the back of my throat. I was really responding physically to the stress, what I find a stressful experience, which is driving on a busy city highway with lots going on, and there was construction and orange cones here and people going really fast and changing lanes without signaling and stuff that I find a bit agitating and stressful. And so when I was aware of that, I relaxed my pelvic floor, and sure enough, a couple of minutes later when I checked in, there my pelvic floor was again in this state of kind of overactive clenching. And it really made me think about how often do our pelvic floors respond to our emotional state, to what's going on around us, in ways that we are so accustomed to that we don't even notice that it's stressful. And so I thought that might be an interesting little mindfulness thing to explore over the next couple of days. Just notice if you're in a situation that you find a bit agitating or stressful, check in with your pelvic floor. Have you inadvertently allowed your stress levels and your pelvic floor to get together to tighten up in ways that you don't actually need? This is one of the big things about pelvic floor function, is to start noticing when are we overusing, or when our nervous systems are sending, it's not so much an allowing thing, that's not the right way to phrase it. When your nervous system is triggered to sense danger, there's a physiological response to that. And one of the things that happens is your pelvic floor will respond, will activate. And we can self-regulate by physically addressing the things that are responding to that frightened, startled, alert state. And by relaxing the muscles, we also relax our state of fright or flight. And so that is my request for you this week, is to start noticing places where if you can consciously relax your pelvic floor, do you have also a lessening of your anxiety or your state of alertness? It's an interesting thing to try, and it requires some practice. So why don't we do that for a moment right now? Just here in this moment, take note of how much tension you're holding in your pelvic floor. And can you relax a little bit? Can you let your pelvic floor release just a little? Can you identify the middle of your pelvic floor? Can you bring your attention to the middle of the bones of your pelvis? Can you really let yourself inhabit that space? And if you like to think anatomically, think of the muscles releasing. If you like to think in images, you could imagine a glowing light in the middle of your pelvis in whatever color makes you feel happy and relaxed. Imagine that glowing light expanding to fill the whole bony shape of your pelvis. If you think in terms of energy, you can just think of the energy being able to both gather and widen right in the center of your body. And you may find that doing that helps everything else to settle and relax. Maybe the back of your neck eases. Maybe your jaw unclenches. Maybe your belly muscles relax. Maybe your heart rate starts to settle, or your breathing becomes deeper or easier or more gentle, less forced. So see what you think. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't work for you, also great. Not all strategies work for all humans. And that is my wish for you today, is that you can find a strategy that helps not only your pelvic floor to release, but that if you can think of the idea that releasing that particular physical action of pelvic floor tensing helps all the rest of you, including your nervous system, to settle and feel safer, that would be pretty awesome. I would be really happy about that for you. Questions, comments, put them in down below. I love to chat. See you next time.